A $50K, I need a husband. The words alone sound like a scandal, don't they? A CEO's daughter, beautiful and untouchable, suddenly makes a shocking offer in public. And the man who hears it? A struggling single dad who can barely afford rent. What happened next shook everyone's idea of love, sacrifice, and the true price of happiness. Stay with me till the end. You won't believe the choice they made when the world forced them apart. It all began in the most unexpected way. Alex, a 32-year-old single father, had been juggling 2 jobs to raise his 6-year-old daughter, Emma. His life was a daily grind, up at dawn, school drop-offs, cleaning shifts at night, and exhaustion as a constant companion. Yet Emma's laughter was the only thing that kept his heart alive. On the other side of the city lived Alina, the CEO's only daughter. She was known as polished, wealthy, and proud, living in a world of power lunches and champagne evening. But behind the glass walls of her perfect life, she was drowning. Her father, the stern and traditional CEO, had given her an ultimatum: marry within a month or lose her inheritance and her position at the company. For Elena, marriage wasn't about love anymore. It was survival. Was his survival. The two worlds collided on a rainy evening. Alex had just been laid off from one of his jobs, and with rent overdue, he was desperately scanning bulletin boards at the local cafe. That's when he overheard a voice, a sharp, determined voice, say, "I'll pay $50,000 to anyone who can be my husband. No strings, just 1 year." Alex turned, stunned. There she was, Alina, elegant, serious, and clearly not joking. People in the cafe laughed at her like she was crazy, but Alex didn't. His mind spun. $50,000 could change Emma's life forever. New clothes, better school, even a chance to dream again. But could he really marry a stranger? Especially a woman like her whose world was so far from his own. The following days were filled with tension and doubt. Alex tried to ignore the thought, but every time he tucked Emma into bed and saw her shivering under a thin blanket, the number 50,000 burned in his mind. Finally, fate pushed them together. Elena, frustrated by her failed attempts to find someone serious, posted her deal more openly, and Alex, swallowing his pride, approached her. Their first meeting was a clash of fire and ice. She looked at him like a gamble, and he looked at her like a storm. Yet behind her sharp eyes, Alex caught something, a loneliness that mirrored his own. Their deal was signed. For 1 year, Alex would be her husband. But it wasn't just a contract. It was the beginning of a journey neither of them expected. The media exploded when the CEO's daughter appeared with a poor single father as her husband. People mocked them, headlines called it a PR stunt, and whispers of betrayal filled Elena's corporate world. At home, Emma struggled to accept this new imam, while Alex battled with his dignity every day. But in the quiet moments, when Elena helped Emma with her homework or when Alex defended Alina against cruel accusations, they began to see each other differently. Yet, love doesn't come without a price. Helena's father despised Alex, calling him a parasite. Emma's teacher questioned whether Elena was fit to be a role model, and Alex himself wondered if he had sold his pride for money. Through every storm, however, something unexpected bloomed. Helena's hardened heart softened as she tasted the warmth of a real family. Alex, once weighed down by hopelessness, began to dream again, not just of surviving, but of loving. Then came the breaking point. Elena's father discovered their marriage was based on a deal and threatened to expose them, demanding Alex leave his daughter immediately. The contract, once their shield, became a weapon against them. Alex faced the hardest choice of his life: walk away with the money to secure Emma's future, or stay and fight for the woman he never meant to love. The world expected him to take the money and vanish. But when Alex stood before Elena, he didn't talk about contracts, money, or pride. He talked about Emma calling her mom, about how her laughter healed the cracks in his heart, and about how love had become the one thing he couldn't put a price on. In the end, Elena defied her father, risking her inheritance, and Alex refused the money, proving his love was real. Together, they built something more powerful than wealth or contracts. A family born not from convenience, but from sacrifice and courage. And as Emma wrapped her small arms around them both, whispering, "And now I have a mommy and daddy," the world finally understood. Sometimes love doesn't come wrapped in perfection. Sometimes it arrives in the most shocking, imperfect deal. But if you hold on long enough, it can turn into the one thing worth more than $50,000 forever.